Welcome everyone to another top 10. I'm Old Skool Gamer 1971. Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment and share. Check out my channel and subscribe, as it helps the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Today's top 10 is Game of the Year 2019.
Sure, why not?
Pretty nice ride you got here. Where'd you get the cash?
It's a long story. It's complicated and it's really difficult to explain.
Well, I'm a complicated guy.
This year has been a mixed bag. We've seen some amazing surprises, games that were unexpectedly good, A Plague's Tale, Innocence and Control. Some that was different to what we expected, Death Stranding. One of the main reasons that I own a PlayStation 4 is the variety of games for the console. Here, if more evidence was needed, is even more games to prove this. As my back catalogue of games that I want to platinum gets ever bigger, this list is just 12 more that I want to smash. Seeing that next year looks to continue the trend, not even beginning to think about the PlayStation 5, thank goodness that it's backwards compatible. So let's raise a glass to the class of Game of the Year 2019. Now I have to decide which one is Game of the Year.
That's not friendly. Ooh, man, that stinks. Crossing the streams is technically a fireable offense here. Oh. Don't stop.
It's a whole swarm.
Oh, nice screaming. Got the hang of it.
And so we start off with my number 10, Medieval. Came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Other Ocean Emeryville. This was one of those games, back when this released, it was pretty much Marmite, you either loved it or loathed it. There was nothing else out there quite like this. It was the same the second time round. I had to get this. It was remastered from the ground up, and just as I enjoyed it way back when, all come flooding back to me again, and soon I was happily back in the groove. You play as Sir Daniel Fortescue, according to history, the hero, but in actuality, he fell by the first arrow. Now the necromancer is back, and you have your chance to live up to your moniker, hero. This is a decent adventure that finally looks as good as it plays. Its sense of humour is very British. In short, if I find time this year for only one more game, it might just have to be this game. Moving on to number 9, Concrete Genie. Came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Pixel Opus. I remember looking back at the first trailer and just thinking, wow, this game oozed originality and an interesting art style to boot. Then it released and it lived up to all of my expectations and so much more besides. There is nothing else out there even remotely like this. And it's just another reason why I own a PlayStation 4. This is a PlayStation exclusive and a good one at that. It's about bringing a once beautiful port town back to life with colour. Graffiti the walls with creatures that come to life and add some life to the proceedings. This is great fun for kids and adults alike. It's not overly complicated but isn't a walk in the park neither. There is a bit of joypad dexterity required, but with a little bit of practice soon becomes second nature. My niece Moomin got the hang of the controls quicker than I did. Well done, Moomin.
I can see you've got a vision for this.
Number 8, A Plague's Tale: Innocence, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Asobo Studios. Now this was one hell of a surprise, in a really good way. I went in expecting nothing really. Its graphics looked good and all, but not really having been promoted greatly. I thought it was going to be an okay adventure. Its gimmick looked to be the rats, and after you got over those, it was just going to be a run-of-the-mill adventure game. Instead, we got a pretty good story and stealth that really works. Having a slingshot as a weapon, you feel underpowered, which you are, so you must rely on your wits. The setting looks fantastic and you just want to explore it. When the rats becomes a thing, it becomes about using them to your advantage. Sometimes you have to circumnavigate them. It has a story to be invested in and certainly has its own fair share of twists and turns.
That's an odd sound.
My number 7, The Sinking City, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Frogwares. Right off the bat, no, this game is not perfect, and it was going to be a HP Lovecraft Cthulhu game, except they were beaten to the punch. This is more open world than Call of Cthulhu, and I did find it fun to play. After all the problems there's been with copyright issues, I cannot see there ever being a sequel. So what we have here is a game with some good ideas that didn't quite deserve the bashing it got. You play as a detective whose investigations will lead down a route with an occult flavour. There are several comparisons to be made between the two games, but the styles and execution are very different. It is good to see something different done with an open world. Graphically, I find the game pleasing, and a couple of effects that will leave you scratching your head. Their previous games have included Sherlock Holmes games, so if you enjoyed those, you will probably enjoy this game.
I'm watching you, newcomer.
Moving on to number 6, Judgment, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Ryu Ga Gotoku. Yakuza are a series of games that I believe are very underrated. They are open world and have so much to do in them. And whilst this is not a direct sequel, it is based in the Yakuza universe. You play as a private detective, former defender, who after defending a suspected killer who turned out he did it after all, finds himself embroiled in Yakuza affairs. This looks a big step up graphically and introduces some new characters into the universe. With a lot of the usual time wasters, arcades and even hobbies to take up your time, there is much to keep your interest piqued long after the credits roll. Add in the side quests and there is hours of fun to be had here. The combat is top notch as always, slowly unlocked over time, In short, if you enjoyed Yakuza, you will enjoy this game. Try it anyway, as the game may just surprise you. Number 5, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Respawn. So I have a question for EA, are you going to listen now? I'm hoping they are after the sales of Jedi Fallen Order, that they understand that we want single player experiences, not just multiplayer, and that if you invest the time into a game, then you will get the sales. You play as a Jedi who happens to be working for the Empire, keeping his powers hidden. This was an answer to a question that I never knew existed. What happened to the Jedi who survived the call? This game brings a lot to the table. A novel map, Jedi powers that slowly unlock and that are useful, and a story that feels like a Star Wars story. I like that it is with new characters, but also there is also some cameos. I like that there is options for your lightsaber, that means you can make it so it fits your fighting style. This is the single player experience I've been waiting for. Now I have some more advice for EA. How about next time round we make it cooperative and add in a smuggler for some Jedi gunslinging gameplay?
Nice job.
My number 4, Control, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Remedy. Man did I like this game. Right from the get-go, it oozed atmosphere. Its style and content were right up my street. Graphically, it impresses, and the shapeshifting rooms just look amazing. I like how the gun shapeshifts rather than you picking up loads of different guns. This all comes together really well and certainly sets it apart from its competition. From the onset, it gripped me, and in all the time I played, I never really felt that it was repetitive. Bringing together psychic powers and gunplay, it utilises them both so very well, making you learn to be proficient at them both. You will also use all of your powers and not just some of them. The building itself is worthy of a mention, as it does just look amazing. I like its stylings, and it does look creepy as hell. Its story has a very X-Files and Twin Peaks kind of flavour to it, and it is also good to me. My number 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Capcom. Now on most years this would have been number 1, but to me at least, this was good. But nothing really surprised me, the other 2 games on this list did. That is not to say that it was not good, its quality was damn fine, and the expansion to the map was absolutely spot on. From the character models to the map, everything has been overhauled. Making the map fit the style of gameplay made this feel like a whole new game. I like the rewrites to the story and feel that the story is all the better for it. Capcom has really had a quality spike recently, and by the looks of Resident Evil 3, it is going to continue this year. I cannot wait to see what comes after Resident Evil 3, as it will be for the new hardware, and I want to see what the RE engine can do on the PlayStation 5. This is one that I must make an effort to play more of. I never really got on with Claire and Leon's stories the first time round. Here I want to play through their stories. So well done Capcom for making me want to play Resident Evil 2. My penultimate entry, Death Stranding, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Kojima Productions. So the latest Marmite of the world of gaming. Those who love it, really love it, and those who loathe it, hate it with a passion. I think it is understanding that not every game has to be fun, that sometimes it's good to just go on a journey, and that is what this game is. Its story is one of tragedy and loss. It's about you reconnecting people, and yes, it is just moving from A to B and moving packages along the way. But that is only part of the story. There is combat, some of which can be avoided. You can use stealth, which is no surprise as it is Kojima. There is vehicles to help with traversal. But the one thing that should have been the selling point of this game is the multiplayer-ish element, that you can leave behind on the map things to help your fellow players. This does leave you with a good feeling knowing that someone probably would have been stuck otherwise. This is not to everyone's taste, but for those of us who can see what the game offers and that it is something new, something we have never had before, for us, the game is great. And my number one game for 2019, Days Gone, came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019 and was developed by Bend Studios. Now I know there are people who are going to disagree with me here, but hear me out. To me, this game is made up of a lot of things that I like. A wasteland, open world, zombies, and leveling mechanics that really make a difference to your character. The motorbike is necessitated in the early going. Later on you can have a little bit more freedom, but be prepared for the odd death or two while trying to make your way back. But it is kind of fun to do, especially when you succeed. This game felt like it was made for me. I never bored from beginning to end. I was invested in the story and felt, whilst a little cliched and maybe more people should have died at the end, but that is my one and only criticism of the game. With New Game Plus, Survival Mode and challenges, there is much to bring you back to the game if you want to do so. It is also possible to platinum the game in one playthrough. Oh, and I know the game is not perfect. I never experienced the glitches that others did even on day one, but more importantly, this is a game that I do not want to put down. And I'm still on my hard 2 playthrough. And it's done. Hope you all enjoyed this top 10. There's plenty more content like this on my channel. Check it out, and if you would, spread the word. Leave any suggestions down below in the comments. Enjoy your day, one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.